I have not done a manual thing. It is the automation. So till this portion we are good. I have opened the launch the browser, and second is to enter the URL. Enter URL. Okay. Now third thing what we have to do, we can maximize the browser also. Manage dot window. This thing you have to remember. So I'm going to close this first one. Now, if you see, this is on minimize format. So I'm going to expand it. So in order to expand, in order to maximize, I have used this method, maximize method. So if I run my program, it is going to maximize it. Now it is maximizing. Third step is also done. Okay, so this step, enter username, how to do so. So here we will be needing web element because we are going to interact with the web element of the web page, right? So in order to do so, what I have to do, I'll right click on the web element which I want to interact with. I'm going to click on inspect. Okay, and now I want to see this one. So yeah, if I just go to this input, it is automatically highlighting in the web page. It means that this tag belongs to the this username. Okay. Similarly, if I click on this one, it will show the login button. But I am interested in the username. So remember, I have told you about the attributes. So here there are different attributes available in this input tag. Class is there, placeholder is there, type is there, and ID is there. So ID is the one which uniquely identify a particular web element in a given page. So I'm going to use ID here. Okay. Now Selenium provides the method to find the element in a given web page. How to do so? So I'll go to my project. I'm going to create a web element object. Username is the name of the element. Okay. And using the driver, remember driver is the one which is responsible for interacting with the web element. So I'm going to use the driver object here and using the method present inside that find element. Okay, find element. Now we have to tell that which element I want to find it. Okay, so in order to do so, there is one more class we have to remember is by. By is a class, okay, which is used to locate, which help us to locate a particular web element. Okay, helps us to locate the web element by different mediums. You can identify a web element using identifier, using the ID, or you can use the class. These are nothing but the attributes. Class, name, text, CSS. These are the ways you can easily use to identify a given web element in a web page. So since I know that ID is uniquely identified, so I'm going to use ID because it is can easily identify a web element. So if you see that different locators are there. So if you see ID, class, name, text, it is nothing but a locators. It is the medium to which you can able to find a web element. So I'm going to use by.id. So find element method expects a locator. Okay. So what is the locator? ID. So between the ID, I'm going to pass the ID over here. Copy it and paste it. Okay. Now you have this web element. Now comes to the interaction part. Now you have the web element. What task, what action you want to perform? I want to input the data, right? So I'm going to use this object username element, and I want to send keys. What are the keys? Simply I'll go to the web page. This is the standard input. This is the username. Okay. So third step is also done. What was the third step? Enter username. Let me run the program. Now this time it will enter the username. It will maximize. See, it is entering. Now fourth step, enter the password. Same thing I'm going to do. I'm going to create a web element object. Okay, this time password object. Okay, and again using the driver object to find the element using the locator by dot. I will go to the web page and find what are the attributes available. So here you can see that ID is also there. So simply I'll copy paste this password and go back to the okay. Now I have the web element. I have to perform the action. How to perform action? Password dot send keys is the method provided by the web element class, and I will go to the user web page, copy paste the password over here. Okay, now this will enter the password. Okay, now let's see whether it's working fine or not. Just run it. See, this time it is entering username and password. This step is also done. Now the final step we have to do. Username, password, same process, same thing I am going to do. Hit login button. Okay, so I am going to create a web element. So login button, driver dot find element using by class, and let's see what are the locators available. Right click on the web element, inspect it, and then just see where is the element is there. So here if you see that it is of input tag and type is submit, and here also we find ID. So I'm going to use this ID to find the login button. So simply by.id, pass the ID, and then I have to perform the action. What is the action I want to perform? I want to click it. So web element gives us different methods to perform the actions with the web element. So login button dot click, because it's a button, I have to click it. Let's run this program. See, we have successfully automated all those steps for this test case. Login with valid username and valid password. Launch the browser, enter username, password. Okay, hit the login button. Now one more thing you can do is to close the browser also. So here it is opened now. What we can do, we can simply close it. In order to close, what you can do, you just have to write like this, driver.quit. If you write, it will perform all those steps which you have written, and then in the last it will simply close the driver instance.